Today, I'm smoking a Popeyes Cajun turkey. Yeah. If you didn't already know, Popeyes sells turkeys towards the end of each year during the holiday season. It's pre-cooked, super easy to make, and tastes fire. I've had this turkey a few times before, and I've always roasted it just like the directions said. But what happens if you take this ready-to-go bird and throw it on the smoker? Well, I'm about to find out, and so are you, as I take you step by step through how to smoke a Popeyes Cajun turkey. Let's go. Before you get started, make sure your turkey is completely thawed. This should take about 3 days in the refrigerator. After your turkey is thawed, preheat your smoker to 225 degrees Fahrenheit. Then add your preferred wood for smoking. Today, I'm using my Pit Boss pellet smoker with a wood blend made up of hickory, apple, maple, and oak, all of which perfectly complement the Cajun flavors in the turkey. To avoid any mess, place the packaged turkey in an aluminum pan or dish. Then carefully remove the outer layer of packaging from the turkey. And once it's off, cut a small hole in the remaining packaging and pour out the juices to save for later. These juices are packed with seasoning and flavor and will be used throughout the cooking process. Now free the turkey from the second layer of packaging, then squeeze out all the juice that remains. You should end up with a good amount of turkey juices. And be sure to keep the plastic attached to the turkey legs intact. It's called a hock lock, and it helps the turkey maintain its shape while cooking. Once the turkey is prepped and the smoker is up to temperature, place an aluminum roasting pan in the center of the smoker. Then pour the saved turkey juices into the pan. Add 2 cups of broth to keep the liquid from evaporating too quickly. You can add water, but I used a mix of turkey and chicken stock for extra flavor. As the turkey cooks, the juices will mix with the broth, creating a moist environment that helps prevent the meat from drying out. Now set a grill roasting rack into the roasting pan. Then place your turkey on the rack, breast side up. This will keep the turkey from sitting directly in the juices and allow smoke to hit every part of the bird. Now insert a meat thermometer into the thickest part of the breast to monitor the internal temperature as it cooks. And leave the turkey uncovered so that it can soak up all that smoky flavor. Now we're ready to smoke the bird. Smoke at 225 degrees Fahrenheit until the internal temperature reaches 135. After the first hour of cooking, baste every 30 minutes. At first, lightly baste with melted butter to help the turkey brown. Then, once the seasonings have set, switch to basting using the turkey juices. This helps keep the turkey moist and enhances the skin, but be gentle to avoid washing away the Cajun seasoning. Since this turkey is pre-cooked, the goal is to warm it up and infuse it with smoke without overcooking. For an 11 to 13 pound turkey, this usually takes about 3 to 4 hours. However, different smokers or colder weather may affect the total cook time. Just keep an eye on the smoker's ambient temperature to ensure it stays steady. And rotate the turkey to make sure it cooks evenly. If your smoker is big enough, rotating may not be necessary, but it can be helpful in some cases. So if you notice one side is browning faster than the other, go ahead and turn it. During the final hour of cooking, increase the smoker temperature to 350 degrees. The higher heat will help crisp the skin, but will need to baste every 15 minutes with the pan drippings to lock in moisture and prevent the turkey from drying out. Once the turkey reaches an internal temperature of 135 degrees Fahrenheit, remove it from the smoker and loosely tint it with foil. Let it rest for 10 to 15 minutes, during which the internal temperature will rise to around 140 to 145 due to carryover cooking. This resting period allows the juices to redistribute so that the turkey remains juicy and tender. After resting, your smoked Popeyes Cajun turkey is ready to eat. All right, the turkey is done smoking. It took about 4.5 hours, which is about an hour longer than I thought it would take. As I was cutting it up, I noticed that similar to when I roasted it, the meat was falling off the bone, but not quite as tender as when I roasted it. That may be due to time. Like I said, it took about an hour longer than I thought it would take. And I tell you what, I resisted with everything in me to give it a taste because I wanted to taste it for the first time with you. And so I'm tasting it right now for the first time because I wanted to give you my real, true reaction to what it tastes like. I divided it up into dark meat and white meat. And so let's start with the white meat here. I'm gonna take a little piece of the breast. Still juicy. It's not quite as juicy as it was when it was roasted, but still juicy. So here we go. So wow. It hit you with a second layer of flavor. Initially, it wasn't very salty, but then an extra layer of flavor came in. And it wasn't very smoky, but then an extra layer of smoke came in. So I would say this has just the right amount of smoke. So let's try a piece of dark meat right here. I'm gonna pull this right off of the thigh. Now that piece was a little more moist, but it had a little less smoke flavor. And maybe that's because the thigh was sitting closer to the liquid in the bottom of that pan, and so it didn't quite get as much smoke circulating underneath the turkey, but it still tastes very flavorful. And like I said, it's a little more moist than the breast meat. So let me try a piece of the thigh that's closer to the skin that maybe picked up a little more smoke. I don't know if you can see that there, quite see that there, but there's a little skin on there. So we'll try that and see if we get a little smoke flavor. We do. Oh my goodness, that is fire. I'll tell you what, I was a little bit nervous putting it on the smoker. You pay good money for this turkey. You don't want to ruin it by cooking it in a way that you're not supposed to cook it, but you won't ruin it. It is so delicious. It is so flavorful. I don't really think there's much you can do wrong with this turkey because it's marinated to perfection. So if you want to smoke it, if you want to roast it, if you want to fry it up, I bet you it'll taste good that way too. That's all I got for you today. If you enjoyed this video, please check out one of my other videos over here. I even have a Popeyes copycat recipe that you can smoke as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.